between the time when the oceans drank Atlantis and the rise of the sons of Arius, there was an age undreamed of. And unto this, Conan, destined to bear the jeweled crown of Aquilonia upon a troubled brow. It is I, his chronicler, who alone can tell thee of his saga. Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
So the city-state of Shushan is a place in flux. 2 months ago, the old king was ousted by a distant cousin and crucified. The city was taken by force, and a new martial law fell over the land. And with many newly conquered cities and nation, unrest was prevalent. The new leader, called Khan Ranveer, had barely control of his own servants as strife is rampant throughout the city. These rumors had spread far and wide, and Nathal saw an opportunity. That is why he and his companions have come east to seek riches that such a place might give. It did not take long to be contacted by a prominent man, an Emir called Rafiq. It was unclear what this job was, but well-paying it would be certainly. The clandestine location of an old watchtower at night seemed to hint of the nefarious. Only time will tell. So you can feel free to roleplay your way to this abandoned watchtower, which you've gotten directions from some locals. It is dark, and you're walking by torchlight. There are not many people on the streets. If you look at this large map of the city of Shushan, you can see that the watchtower is where...
The bottom?
It is number 4. So number 4, if you look at the map, is, I believe, the top left of the map. I'll ping it so you can see it. That's up there.
Is that where we're showing up?
That's where you are heading towards.
That's where we're heading here. Where are we at now?
It doesn't. You're probably walking along the wall. There's paths along the wall here. So you're coming from like where 10 would be. Which is a gate.
Nathal, which is played by myself, am I the leader of our little mercenary?
Yes, you are the leader. You're the one who collected them all and brought them here for hopefully what you are expecting to be a wealthy endeavor.
Cool. How long have we been traveling together?
Months. We'll say 6 months.
Cool. So we know each other pretty well.
Yeah.
Well, enough.
Mm-hmm. So you're traveling under the cover of night by torchlight against this wall. The shadows of the flames kind of playing tricks of your eyes as you move, covered from anyone's gaze. There's no one about as you travel to this secret meeting with a important man here in this fairly foreign town to you.
And there's no one walking the walls. It looks pretty, like, not occupied.
That's correct, currently.
All right, Nathal's. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Nope, you go ahead. You're the leader.
Nathal is wearing a hood, dark hair, dark long hair, kind of hidden underneath his hood, and black curly beard, pretty short. Probably wearing some ragged clothes, enough to get by, and a tattered cloak. So I imagine him. I'd probably have my hand on my hilt and eyes darting back and forth to the alleyways. I'll turn to the rest of my companions and say, I think it is just through here. Down this way. Watch our back. Make sure we're not followed. I don't think Rafiq would want anybody coming up behind us.
Understood. And Nyaba is going to look behind them and see, like, is anybody, like, outside of the wall that they would see through the light that's being cast?
The wall is made of stone, but
No,
it is.
beyond it.
So on the other side, you mean?
Yeah, because since there's nobody up top, she's gonna look, like, outside of the wall.
Okay, why don't you roll me an observation? So you just click on your token and find observation. Should be in the second row, and click that.
It says you attempted to use a roll command, looking for the value of a selected token, but no tokens are selected.
Make sure you select
But
select your token on the screen. You see what I
And
mean?
the 2 is okay?
Yep, the 2 is perfect. That's the base. Yep. You do not see anything on the other side of the wall. It's a little you kind of crane your head a bit to try to see over it. It is not particularly high at this juncture, but you can't quite catch anything on the other side. You don't hear anything either.
Okay. Then she's just going to follow the lead of the leader.
Anon follows the 2, making eyes to the leader when he gives orders, and then is it Naiba?
Naiba, yep.
Naiba, and then kind of frumpy or morose looking out into the shadows, but nothing in particular, more just a 1,000-yard stare. Whatever thoughts lie behind his eyes are his thoughts alone. He has a bow in his hand, but no arrows drawn, but does remain alert for anything out of the ordinary.
Cenotaph will sidle up next to Nathal and just, like, nervously fidget with his dagger and sheath at his waist. Sir, you have I can't shake this feeling that we're in over our head in this. Like, this is a very high-ranking man who's hiring us. Like, what have we done? He's an Emir. Like, what? Why does he have any need to hire us? Do you feel like something's being hidden from us here?
I'm sure there's more than enough trouble to be had.
Is that fear I smell?
No, just trying to be cautious.
We have been on the road a while.
Let's just get this over with.
So Nathal will have a smirk on his face. He says, "Fear not. The only thing I fear is the smell. Reminds me of Shadazar back in Zamora. Anyway, keep your wits about."
Always, sir.
Anon just kind of rumbles or mumbles in agreement.
Yeah, and we'll head on. Kind of sticking to the shadows if we can.
Yep.
Towards the tower.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't take you long, only perhaps 10 minutes of walking along this tower, until you see this outcropping stone building kind of set next to the wall. It's kind of hard to see from a distance, but as you get closer and your torchlight hits it, you can see that it rises up above the tower and looks out across the desert plains. Let me switch the swing for you guys. Can you guys see anything?
Yep, the four of us.
Yeah, I can see us four.
Oh, I gotta.
In the beginnings of a step, maybe in front of Nathal and Naiba.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Yeah, I do see a little bit of terrain there.
So you walk up to this. It's very dark. You see the outlines of the stone building in front of you, with a small walkway approaching a door that is closed. There's no sentry posted outside this watchtower currently.
There is a door there, you say?
Yeah, there's a door right in front of you. This is a door.
All right, I'll move the torch up to illuminate the door. And are there any markings on the door?
No, it's a simple wooden door.
All right, I'll kind of rap on it lightly.
You rap on it lightly, and there is somewhat of a delay before you hear footfalls come over the stone inside, and a man approaches, throwing the door wide in front of you. He's a tall, very tall man, taller than any of you by probably a foot. And he looks out and says, "Welcome. You are Nathal?"
Aye. You're Rafiq, I presume.
"Yes, I am Rafiq. Come, friends. There is much to speak about. Away from the darkness and into the light." And there's 2 torches set inside the door.
Immediately when I come in, my eyes dart to and fro, watching the shadows. I'll come around to the table, though. Nathal tenses. He's not as tense as he was before.
Besides this man standing before you, there appears to be no one else. As he goes to the table, he straddles the bench and sits a large capuche over the top of the table as he pulls it off his back to make room for him to sit. "Come, come. You may all sit. No reason to be standing in the dark."
Naiba's going to close the door.
Okay. You pull the door closed behind you.
Nathal looks over to Rafiq. "Well, thank you for having us here tonight. What business do you offer to us?"
Straight to the point. I suppose it is the way it should be in the middle of the night, skulking around. He doesn't look pleased that this meeting is happening as it is, but he kind of looks over at Anon standing about, and his eyes flutter back to Nathal. Yes, I have a delicate task for you, one that you may wish to consider before accepting. First, I will tell you it will make you all wealthy, and you will not need to, continue your lives as mercenaries any longer if that is what you wish. To retire alive, it is what any man can dream of. And he kind of pauses for a moment. At least 20 gold dinar for each of you. For each of you, I might add.
That is a generous sum.
Generous. Yeah, go ahead.
Out of character. That is
Yeah.
a lot of money. Yeah. I heard that like 1 gold was like a lot of money.
Yeah, this would definitely set each of you up for life, no doubt. He pulls out a pouch and kind of tosses it over onto the top of the table, kind of towards Nathal and Sinotef, and says, "That is just a taste. But generous, you say? Perhaps, perhaps not. Your task is one of difficulty in this land. And it is one, some would find beneath them, some would find dishonorable."
Nathal will smile. He says, I am no stranger to such tasks.
Good. Then perhaps it will not be too much to ask for you to drive your daggers and swords into one certain individual, heavily guarded and, perhaps hidden.
Who is this target?
The person who killed my brother.
Does
A
this
woman.
person have a name?
She is a priestess of Ishtar, a woman called Sabine, the head of the order here in Shushan.
Would you not want to do the honors yourself then, if they killed your brother?
Yes, of course I would. It is not possible. The priestesses of Ishtar here are powerful, and my Khan needs the support. If I was to go and kill this woman, it would turn the priestesses of Ishtar against my Khan, and that cannot be. It must look like outsiders. Once you kill her, you should leave the city immediately.
How are we going to collect our pay then?
I have a place that it will be kept for you.
And where is that?
He unfurls a small scroll from his cloak and hands it over to Naiba. Here, directions. There's a place among the sands where you may find it. That there is 10 gold total to get you started. He points to, or nods to the pouch on the table.
Nathal will kind of sift through the coins if he can. Move them around, count them out.
Yeah, there's 10 gold in there.
And then he'll look to the others. More than enough to get us started.
As one would expect.
Naiba pockets the map.
Is this all the aid we can expect from you? That would be more than generous.
I have other things. I can keep you on your path. There's a woman that might know more about this priestess, where she might be.
And where can
That's
we
what
find her?
Say that again. Effie.
And where can we find her?
He says, she is the dyer. She will be in the business district. One of my men can show you the way.
Any advice beyond that?
Don't get caught.
We are good at not getting caught. Isn't that right? I'll look to
I
the
would say
others.
so.
As far as it's gone so far.
Say that
Well,
again.
we're in.
Cenotaph.
Insofar as I stumbled over words. I'm sorry.
Very good.
Nathal will look over at Rafiq and nod to him and say, "Worry not, Rafiq. This priestess will die. Your brother will be avenged. You've done well in hiring us."
Only time will tell. I will say this. The priestesses Ishtar are not like other priesthoods, not like other cults. They are militant. The women are fighters. And he kind of looks at Naiba offhandedly. It will not be easy. I expect she will be on the guard.
I've dealt with the priests of Yog before. I have no doubt they will be dangerous.
He nods and pushes the table away from him to stand up. Kind of incidentally kind of moves towards you as he is almost 7 feet tall and a huge man. Steps over the bench and turns. Then this is settled.
Nathal will nod. Look to everybody else. Agreed then?
Cenotaph gives a small nod.
Agreed.
And nods.
It
Very
is
well.
settled.
If you are captured and you speak my name, well, we will all die together.
Our tongues will be silent. We have forgotten your name already.
Good.
I'll
I have-
scoop up the bag.
Mm-hmm. I have
I'll
friends. Yeah, I heard you. Yep. You scoop
Okay.
up the bag, yep. He says, I have friends that can give you worse than death in the cells of the Khan. I do not wish to be implicated, no matter what you say. A man or woman under the blade says many things. If you are caught, I wish you to blame someone else, someone specific, and you do this.
Who would you like for us to blame?
There are gypsies outside the wall. They are problematic. Blame them. Tell them a man by Hanwell had given you coin for this.
Hanwell.
Hanwell.
Good then. It is settled. We will speak the name Rafiq no more.
Good. I pray to the gods for your safety and your success.
I'll take my torch up and the coins and stuff, tie them to my belt, and Nathal turn back towards everyone. I hope they'll listen and start to move towards the door.
Rafiq puts his hand across his waist and gives a slight bow as you begin to depart.
Naiba inclines her head and then stands up to follow Nathal.
Nathal will offer a kind of half bow as he exits out the door.
Samateth will walk out, keeping his head low, not acknowledging.
Anon just kind of walks out with the group, saying nothing.
After Nathal closes the door, I'll kind of look towards the rest of you a little more excited. 20 gold. Eyebrows raised. That's a good bit of coin.
That's quite a bit of coin.
Especially when not all of us are expected to make it.
We'll make it.
I would hope so. But 20 coin, 20 gold, that means there's equivalent danger inside. Enough gold for a lifetime, enough danger for one too.
You could take your share and retire.
I just might. Depends on how things go.
Just survive and you will enjoy your spoils.
So, 10 gold. To the tavern then? Or should we go find out any more information on our target?
Perhaps we should find that woman.
Let's start with her and go from there.
Alright, we may want the break later on. We shouldn't squander any coin.
We probably shouldn't let anybody see how much money we've got either. Nathal make sure to put his cloak around his coins. One hand on that sack.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much the whole time I'm walking.
Yeah, you don't even steal your money. All right, let me 2 seconds. All right, so you can easily determine where the dyer is in this location. It's not a secret or anything along those lines.
It'd probably be better if his men weren't showing us the way either. Yeah.
Yeah, that's up to you.
Are you guys good with just finding it ourselves, maybe? A couple of whispers here and there.
Seems reasonable. Doesn't sound like it'd be that difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no problem with that.
Yeah, we'll keep his men out of it.
Okay. So you head through this maze of alleyways, forced to ask beggars and other people out on the streets where this location is, as you're completely new to this town. You cut around a corner and you see a door before you that hangs a sign on the front. I will just say that you guys can read Shemitish for the sake of this, and it reads dyer on the front with a swath of cloth that is dyed red, bright red, which is very, very unusual, as dyes of such colors are uncommon and expensive. And that would be the door in front of you.
Does anyone know about this priesthood?
Is that's a question out of character?
Yeah, sorry.
What do you mean exactly?
Besides being militarized, or
they're a very, very powerful priesthood in this city. It's everyone knows who they are.
Okay, yeah.
You know that much. You don't know. Actually, roll me a let's see how much you do know. Roll a lore.
Did you
Everyone-
say lore?
Lore. LORE. Everyone
Two
can do
dice.
it. Just unless So get one.
Let's see here. Yep. And dice 2.
Yep.
There we go.
Oh, good. So now that difficulty was a 1, and you rolled 2 successes, so you get a momentum. So now you have 1 momentum in your pool. So Nathal knows best. Sinotef doesn't have any clue. Everyone knows something. The priestesses of Ishtar are the priestesses of beauty and pleasure. And when it comes to pleasure, we're talking about sexual pleasures. They are a cult / priesthood that most of their priestesses begin as prostitutes in their temples, and the people who come to visit them are their clients. And from what Nathal knows about Shushan, is they are very powerful in this city. And most, if not all, of the priesthood are female. And kind of the way it goes is you begin as a prostitute and work your way up through the ranks, so to speak, to
That's awesome.
more scholarly endeavors with their god and that sort of thing. So that's what you know about the priestess of Ishtar, and it is a very, very powerful priesthood here in Shushan and in Shim in general. Shim is the nation that Shushan is in. And if you think of Shim as a real life nation, it would be kind of like Syria. That sort of thing.
Or did I lose everybody? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I lost you on that last bit there.
Oh, I just said that that priesthood is very popular in this nation, and particularly the city.
Okay. And this is the front entrance here to the Dire.
Right in front of you, to your right.
And there's no guards posted.
No, it's the middle of the night.
So would it be unusual for us to be coming here maybe to seek pleasure?
At the Dire?
Yeah.
Well, the Dire is just the Dire. She's not a priestess of Ishtar, as far as you know. You weren't told that she was.
Okay.
Oh, so we don't know anything about the Dire.
Yeah, you just were told that there was a Dire that could help you.
Oh yeah, she's supposed to give us the information. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Again, Nathal will, have his hood low and be watching, maybe to make sure that we're not followed as well. Is it possible to make some type of perception or observation?
Yeah, go ahead and roll observations.
Okay.
You don't see anyone. You passed a beggar a while ago, but that was the last person that you have seen.
All right. Nathal look to the others, still with one hand under his cloak on the pouch. I'll say, I believe this is it.
Sure hope it is. I'm tired of standing around in the dark alleys, as much fun as I'm having.
Walk over to the door and again rap on it lightly.
You rap on it lightly, and there's a long delay. And then finally the door just cracks open just a bit, and you see the face of a woman looking through with tired eyes. What is it? What is it you want? It's the middle of the night.
I apologize for the hour. We seek the dire.
That is I.
We come seeking information.
Information about what?
I think that's best talked about in private, not out on the street.
She
Thal
kind of,
not.
she looks between you two. You want me to let you into my shop in my home in the middle of the night? 2 men I do not know? And she goes to start to close the door on you.
Nathal kind of put his hand to stop the door and says, "A priestess of Ishtar."
A priestess. And you can tell that she has more interest in that when you say that. Very well, come in. I will scream if you try anything. There is a man across there, and she points to the wall. Lives there, in his shop. He will alert others as well. There are guards on the shop across the way. And she kind of backs up.
I say, "You have no fear from us, lady." I'll wait till everybody kind of goes in. Make sure we're not followed still.
Nipa will just walk in, take the lead.
And Nan follows Nibeth.
Zenithal will glance down the alleyway one more time and head in.
Looks around. Kind of leans against the counter, and she's like, "Tell me what you want to know and of who."
Nathal close the door and step forward towards the lady.
She just looks at you expectantly.
I'll say, we need to know about the priestess of Ishtar here. We've been hired for a certain task of removal.
And who are you looking for? There are many priestesses of Ishtar. And if you don't remember, her name was Sabine.
Sabine?
Mm-hmm.
Sabine. Yeah, I'm trying to keep Rafiq's name out of it, but I'm still kind of like prodding and seeing if she knows, if this has been set up before, or not. So I'll say she goes by the name of Sabine.
Of course. The head of the order. What do you want to know of Sabine? And how much will you pay me for this information?
I'll look at the others, and I'll say,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Primarily where she resides currently, and any information on that abode.
You have told me what you want, but you have not told me what you will give.
What sort of payments would you want in exchange?
She reaches up and rubs her eyes, and then puts an elbow on the counter and cups her chin in her hand as she thinks about it. She says, that is a piece of information that could be of great import to someone. Well, since I do not know exactly, 1 gold I will take.
Nathal raises his eyebrow and say, "That's a good bit of coin. Will it be good enough information, I wonder?"
I can only tell you what I know. Do you have anyone else that can tell you these things?
kind of step over here this way and kind of look around the shop too while he's talking, make sure if there's any other ears in there. The fact that she was worried about it, makes me think nobody else is in there, but still.
Yeah, you don't see anyone in there as far as you can see. It's pretty clear there's no one in there. She has a small lamp in the back of the room there, which illuminates the entire room. It's not very big. There's just to her left is just basically where she sets up her cot to sleep, and she's the only one in there. Yeah, she's alone.
All right, Nathal, say, do you know if the place is well guarded?
I don't know where she is. I just know someone that might.
Oh, you don't know anything about where she is.
I have suspicions, but I know 2 ways that you might be able to find out for certain.
I suppose we'll have to pay them too, won't we?
Perhaps.
And what are those 2 possible ways or individuals?
Yeah, she looks back in the corner. Well, you haven't given me anything yet.
And you haven't given us anything yet.
Looks over Nathal's shoulder at Naiba and shrugs. I am not the one that wants something. You've come into my home, my shop, and asked me for this thing that is very dangerous. I ask for a recompense, and I get nothing. If I tell you this information, what keeps you from simply walking out the door?
What's keeping us from stabbing you right in the shoulder and getting the information from you ourselves?
I believe I have already said I'll scream, and then the guards from around the other shops will come and detain you or kill you.
Maybe you are lying.
Perhaps.
Nathal will reach into the pouch and pull a gold coin out, hold it up into the air.
She extends her hand.
This better be good information. And then I'll put it into her hand.
She smiles and gives Naiba kind of a look and says, "It is as good as information as you will get." And she sighs and kind of leans over against the wall here. Where to begin? Well, there are 2 ways. Sabine has a lover. The woman, she is a priestess of Ishtar and serves at the Ishtar's blessing. It is a tavern and a whorehouse. There is one way. I am certain that woman knows where Sabine is. Getting that information from her may be difficult. Or you could use some other method. She shrugs.
Does Sabine's lover have a name?
Yes. Her name is Weslia.
Weslia.
She is blonde of hair, some foreigner. She shrugs slightly. There's another way. One of the low priestesses of Ishtar, and that means probably a prostitute, right?
Yeah.
Also has, no love for Sabine. I do not know what she might know, but you could ask her. Her name is Ariane.
Ariane.
That is what I know.
I'll smile. Nathal will offer a little half bow. Ishtar's blessing.
She kind of spits on the ground, which is somewhat unexpected. You're not sure why, but she doesn't seem to have any interest in Ishtar's blessing. She says, "To Ishtar, the crotch rot is what I say."
Nithal smile. Says, "See, you hold no love for the priestesses. I take it."
I was a priestess.
You were once in their order.
Yes.
Hmm.
Go ahead and roll insight.
Okay. Let's see.
All of us or just him?
Whoever wants to, yeah, you can all roll. And that's 1 momentum.
Do I mark that somewhere?
I'm marking it. I have
Okay.
a marker that marks it. And if you click status, it'll tell you the current totals of momentum versus doom. Particularly, everyone kind of gets a sense that she might not be telling the whole truth, but Anon particularly does. She's clearly not being 100% truthful.
Anon, who's spent most of his time quiet in the back for this conversation, kind of moves up to the table or kind of leans forward and looks right into her eyes and just says flatly, "Now tell us what you're holding back. There's something more to this."
I don't know what you mean,
I
sir.
wish to know.
Does it matter?
Of course it matters. I wouldn't be asking otherwise. I think the 1 gold that we've given you is for 2 names is quite fair, and I believe maybe a little bit more than what you're saying is worth that gold coin.
Go ahead and roll me persuade. She frowns and says, "As I said, I was a priestess of Ishtar. I am no longer a priestess of Ishtar."
How far did you get?
Not far enough. Just far enough to spread my legs.
Is that why you left?
No. It is an honorable profession, but not when the priestesses of Ishtar take most of your earnings.
I see.
So you did all the work and they took all the money.
There, she has the right of it.
Nithal will smile and nod. I'm happy with the information you have given us, the target.
Good luck to you. If you kill Sabine, I will pray for you. To some other god. Whatever god you favor.
Thank you for your time.
Nithal will offer the half bow and take off to the door, spin around.
Manon just kind of looks at her and sniffs and turns to leave.
Yeah, she doesn't.
Naiba follows.
She makes no intention or any movement to stop you. Yeah.
Pause at the door for a moment and turn back and say, "I know I need not say it, but be careful. This town has a habit of killing people. And you seem like a fair enough person."
She chuckles. You do not know the half of it. There's been killing throughout the city for the last 2 months. Anyone here is lucky to be alive.
Thank you. He'll nod and leave.
You take to the streets again. And as you do, switch it. Slides.
I'll say back to the others as we're walking out the door, down the street. Say, something in me wants to go back and take all the money.
Why?
Maybe that's the bad part of me. We often argue.
So we go talk to a prostitute or a prostitute. One's in love and the other's bitter.
I'd say we probably go to the bitter one.
The low class, you talking about Arion?
Arion.
Or the lover?
Not the lover. Too loyal.
But they're both going to be in Ishtar's blessing, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Then
I'll take the lesser of the two connections.
let's go to the pleasure house then.
All right.
Yeah, if they're both in the whorehouse, then trying to convince the lover will be a lot more difficult.
Yeah, I agree. Arion might be the better target to talk to.
Shall we do it tonight or wait till morning?
Let's go tonight.
No time like the present.
Perhaps it is good we did not spend all of our gold.
We're gonna have to pay off a few more tongues before we're done here.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you march through the streets in the middle of the night or close to it, using passerbys and beggars to guide your path. It is not hard to find Ishtar's blessing. It is set on a small hill, and everything around it, you see idols of women in various states of undress. These statues are made of ivory and other marble, other quite exquisite rock. And you walk towards this building, which seems rather simple in comparison. You hear definite signs of activity from inside as torchlight flickers near the front of the building. And then the doors are up this way.
I'll take the lead and Thal head towards the doors, watching anywhere that I can, try to pick out any guards.
Doors
or
are north of you. Just so you know.
North.
Yeah, up this alleyway here.
Oh,
You
I
see
was
me
just
taking it?
checking.
You're good. All good. Yeah, the way my games work, you probably can't see it from your vantage, but those yellow dots means there's a door typically, right?
How many stories is this building?
It looks like it's 2 stories from what you can tell.
And the windows, are they?
They're open on this level. Above there are windows as well. You see lights shining through them. None appear to be open. Actually, I would say that's incorrect. I would say they're all open. This is a desert. It would be pretty warm to leave them shut.
Cool, kind of like opened archways and stuff.
Yeah, and they're covered with white drapes that kind of billow when the wind hits it and that sort of thing.
Are there any? Can I make a observation check, possibly, to see if there's any guards posted or?
Sure. Go ahead.
Anybody in the windows or stuff like that?
Yep. Now that's going to be I would say that's a difficult check, so I'm going to give you a difficulty 2 on that one.
Okay. Will I still roll with the input value of 2?
Unless you want to use a momentum, then you can use 3 dice. If you want to use 2 momentum, you can roll 4 dice.
Okay. I'll save my momentum if I can.
Okay, and it's momentum is a pooled thing between everyone, right? So,
Okay.
and you do
Okay.
see someone kind of you see one of the curtains someone walk by, and then they walk by again as if they're pacing a hallway or something along those lines, and that's on the second floor.
I'll mention back to the others as we're walking towards the doors. Nathal under his hood. There's a sentry in the window up there. And then head towards the doors here. Are the doors are open?
They are open, yes. From inside, you see several men at the bar drinking, and a woman moving about. A couple women actually moving about, acting as if they were bartenders, barkeeps, barmaids, that sort of thing.
All right. When I enter in, I'll look around to see if there's that blonde-haired foreign girl.
You do see a blonde-haired. Anyone probably from that is blonde-haired here is probably foreigner. You do see one that does have blonde hair.
I'll look over at Naiba and Sinotep. Shall we get a table or take the bar?
The bar looks pretty full. Perhaps a table would be more suited.
Yeah, we'll look around for a table. Is there any in around here?
Yeah, you can kind of where she's standing. She kind of comes out and, hello there, welcome to Ishtar's Blessing. And she's wearing a white silken dress that hangs to her ankles, and she bows deeply.
It's all off for a smile.
Out of character, are these two just commoners?
Yep, they're just hanging out.
I just wondered because they were identical.
Yeah, they're just stock commoner guys.
Yeah.
There are more people in here than just these, right?
Actually, it's right now. No, there's not. This is the only people in here. It is probably 2 a.m.
Okay. And just a tavern.
It kind of appears to be a tavern. Yeah, there's a lot of flourishing tapestries and images of a woman, probably who you would assume is Ishtar. But otherwise, it looks like it was probably a tavern at one point and then converted into whatever it is now.
I'll look over at the woman that greeted me and say, ale. Where can I find some ale?
At the bar, of course, or I can bring it to you. And she kind of nods over to the tables, which look pretty small, but they're these out over here. If it is your wish.
Please bring an ale for me and my friends. And I'll go over and sit at the table.
Yeah, one each, she says.
I'll nod to her.
Yeah.
All right, you can count me in.
Yeah. She heads back behind the bar and begins to fill tankards from a barrel. You see one other woman in the room, and she's just cleaning up, looks like. Doesn't match any description that you had gotten.
I'll look at the others underneath my hood. What do you think? The blonde there, you think that's her lover?
Could be.
Difficult to say.
When she brings the ale back, ask her name.
That would likely get the desired
Be,
result.
be flirtatious.
Yes.
Maybe you need to be flirtatious.
If she is
It seems.
after all.
Maybe so.
He'll nod over to the girl wearing the cloth hood. Perhaps that is Arian. We'll need to find her name as well. Is out of character, is the money that we have, is that all that we have? Is that those 9 coins?
You have 9 gold plus whatever you brought with you, which is probably dozens of silver. Not a ton, but enough to pay for booze, right?
Okay.
She does return, and with a tray full of tankards, and she sits the tankards on the table. Here we go, she says.
Anon takes one and thanks her and goes in. Thank you for the drinks, and what do we call you?
They call me Priestess Andorra.
Dora.
Such a beautiful name.
Oh, thank you, my dear.
And thank you for the ale.
And she gives a slight bow. Is there anything else you desire? If you are new to town?
I'm new to town, and one of my friends said there was a lovely, and not possibly as lovely as you, but a lovely young woman by the name of Arian here.
Yes, yes, of course. Another priestess? She
Yes.
resides upstairs in the tithe vault.
The tithe vault.
And what is the tithe vault exactly?
Well, she kind of looks down and looks up. It is to receive the blessing of Ishtar, or a tithe.
I would very much like to do that. I'll smile over my mug of ale.
Of course. I believe that can be arranged. Which one of you would care to go up?
Sorry, cut off the end there.
She says, which one would care to go up?
Whoever has the highest persuade.
I'm pretty sure that's Nathal. She says, there are others, too, if you all wish to engage yourself, but for 4, with just Ariane, I do not believe that would be proper.
I think I might sit this one out if you all are interested. Me, not personally.
Idon looks at Nybog, gets red in the face, looks back down at his drink.
I'll laugh and I'll say, are there group Sabbaths?
Yes, but I do not have the permission to allow such a thing. I would need to talk to my mistress.
I will go and pay my respects. Oh, where's this tithe place?
Up the stairs. And she kind of nods towards the big stairs over here. But I will have to collect your tithes here.
And how much would the tithe be?
For Ariane or someone else?
Ariane.
Ariane requires at least 8 silver.
I'll smile at Nybon and hold my mug up to give her a toast and say, do well in your offerings, and kind of laugh.
She laughs as well, raising her mug and taking a sip before setting it down. And would she have that amount on her?
Yeah,
in
sure.
silver?
Yeah, it's a lot, but you have that amount. It's not so much a lot now that you have the gold, but normally
Okay.
it would be a lot.
She will, reach into her coin purse and kind of hesitantly pick out the 8 pieces and hand it over.
Yeah. And Endora says, "Do not worry, my girl. It will be worth it. Aryan is skilled with women or men. It matters not."
Out of character, how many silver to a gold?
Something like 20.
Oh, okay.
20. Yeah, if I'll ask Naiba. I'm like, you need any help with the coin? You have enough there?
I have it, thank you.
And Dora smiles.
Alright.
"That is very generous of your friends. Perhaps after when she is done, you may go upstairs as well, if it is what you wish. Or I could
Yeah.
let one of you go up as well for an additional 12.
Oof.
Well, I see it's the opposite of a group discount.
I'll slam my mug down. Let it be so then. 12, and I'll kind of stand up, pretend I'm a little bit more drunk than of course that I am, and see if I can count out 12 silver.
Yeah, you do.
All right, and I'll drop it in her hands.
She takes it and deftly tucks it into a pouch on her, the front of her robe. And she smiles and she says, "Very well. Well, follow me then."
Let
Lead
us
the way.
pray. I'll look over to Sinotep and Anon and kind of nod to them.
Senative smirks. You two have fun up there. Don't get into any more trouble than you need to.
Anon is insanely jealous, but just kind of stares it in front of him and moves on with his day.
Alright, let me move you
Naiba
guys.
heads for the stairs.
Yeah, you head up the stairs. I'm going to move Sinotep and Einon just so they can see what's going on. No, they're not technically there.
We're ghosts.
Following Endora up the stairs, she kind of cuts to the left, and as you kind of come up, you notice there's somebody standing to the right. It's a woman wearing thick leather armor with a sword on her hip, just kind of watching as Endora brings them up. She says nothing.
I'll kind of stumble a little bit and smile at her and nod. Keep following Andorra.
Yeah, she gives you a not pleased look, but doesn't say anything. Dora kind of comes over to this door, the south here, and raps on it. And it's like, "Aryan, you have parishioners." And there's a long pause again, as it's the middle of the night. "I'll be a moment," you hear through the door. And Dora kind of steps back. "Well, we should wait a few moments. She is rising from her slumber, undoubtedly."
I was under the impression she was awake.
"Oh. No."
Nithal will take a sip of his ale. And there's always time for prayers.
"Yes. Ishtar does not sleep. And neither does his blessings." Anything you wish to talk about in front of her before you go inside? It takes like 15 minutes.
Okay. She's too close. Yeah. If I said anything to Naiba, she would definitely hear.
Yeah, probably. She kind of says, "I can leave you here to wait if you wish, and I do not need to stand here." She says, kind of smiles. "Ariane will let you in," and she kind of walks and slides between you and walks and heads back down the stairs.
Thank you.
She smiles and kind of gives you a nod as she departs.
I'll step closer towards this door over here, kind of cast a look down the hallway. And the sentry, she's just standing there watching us.
Yeah, from a distance. Pretty safe distance.
Naiba rolls her shoulder. She doesn't look behind her, though. She just, kind of acts like she's waiting, but quietly.
Thal will look over to Naiba and say, kind of whispering, they did say that she had no love for the priestess. Didn't they?
That's my understanding. There's contentment.
Maybe she'd be willing to talk to us.
How should we go about it? Can't exactly sit down and be like, hey, guess what?
Perhaps I should pretend to like to watch.
Perhaps we should take the approach of as someone who enjoys hearing thoughts, feelings, to like a lonely person.
Ah, yes. That's a good idea.
We're travelers. We're weary. Maybe something of that sort.
I hope she's willing to tell us information without robbing us of all the rest of our coins.
As you're sitting there talking, the door opens kind of almost suddenly, and you see in the doorway a woman wearing a circlet around her head made of silver. She is dark of skin, likely local or nearby, with a voluptuous figure and wearing a almost see-through dress of white. "Hello, parishioners of Ishtar, come. You seek blessing, and I am here to reward you with Ishtar's own fulfillment for your needs." And she smiles and looks at both of you and kind of backs up slightly to allow you into her room.
Nathal will laugh and, still pretending to be a little bit drunk. Ha! And I'll pat Naiba on the shoulder. She'll do just fine. And then kind of follow her in there.
She smiles and kind of heads to the edge of the bed and says, "Oh, well, I'm glad you think so."
Oh, I'll kind of lean over. Is this the fireplace here, the hearth?
Yep.
And act like I'm trying to lean up against it, like suave, or like slip and kind of stumble over. And fall over onto the carpet a little bit.
Yeah, Ariane looks at Naiba. "Is your friend okay?"
He's had much to drink.
That is unfortunate.
Hopefully
She
he will
frowns.
remember tonight.
I'll
Yeah.
put my hand up and be like, I'm ready for prayers. In just a minute, I'll be ready for prayers. And kind of pull myself over to the wall here and sit up.
You must excuse us. We've been on the road for quite some time.
Ariane nods. Oh, it is most understandable. You have paid your coin. If it is to sit in the corner and rest, then it is to sit in the corner and rest.
We do enjoy the company of pretty women.
As do I, she says. As she walks over and sits on the corner of the bed.
Just surrounded by pretty women all day. You must be a very happy woman.
Some days I am happy, some days I am sad, but Ishtar's blessing provides me with all the sustenance I need. You can roll me an insight roll if you want.
Can I do that as well?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man. We can't add what was it called?
Another die. If you want to spend a momentum, I'll let you roll another d20.
Okay. Let's say yeah, I'll spend one.
Okay, just do it manually. Just do a slash roll.
Okay.
D20.
Backslash D20.
Mm-hmm. No, you get it. That is a. What's your effective skill level
Let's see.
for insight?
And
It is
insight
a.
is
It's under awareness. It's a 9. You got it. So so that's a success. You think that she is not telling you the truth. She's a bit more bitter than that.
I'll say, as I'm horribly failing at undoing my belt, I'll say, you do not sound very pleased with Ishtar. That is all right. I am not pleased with Belle.
She looks over to Nathal. No, you misunderstand. I am pleased with Ishtar. This is a comfortable position. But we have been, well, and she kind of looks down. Never mind my troubles. I am here to alleviate yours.
I like hearing.
You like hearing? What do you wish to hear?
Tell me, what is your day like?
Yes, her voice is rather soothing, I must say.
She looks a bit confused by this line of conversation. But my day, well, I awake and go about my morning prayers with anyone that will come into the blessing, and she just kind of goes on to describe that she essentially stays in this room almost all day long, waiting for parishioners.
Naiva will close her eyes as she's talking, kind of to just listen to her words.
Nathal.
It sounds so mundane. I almost envy you.
She gives a bit of a frown. I suppose I hear in other places, the priestess of Ishtar have more freedoms. Kind of looks over at Nathal and Iva. But as I say, I do not wish to trouble you with my burdens. I do not understand how this can be pleasing for you.
We travel, we fight. We never hear of anything but our own words, our own thoughts. We don't hear the words of a beautiful woman such as yourself. And she's going to walk over towards the bed, but not really make any physical contact, but kind of just sit next to her.
Yeah, she kind of looks over her shoulder, and kind of getting the sense of you're sitting on the bed for other reasons than she might usually, assume, and kind of looks at you and then kind of looks at Nathal and says, "Yes, I suppose. Well, if it is troubles you are wishing to hear, then I have troubles to tell you. It matters not your travels, eh?"
Nathal will take a drink of his ale and smile at her,
Yeah,
Yes,
she's like,
telling us of your troubles.
and that one will not likely remember in the morning, I think, anyway. Unfortunately for him, if you do share the blessing, but she sighs. It is our mistress. She is heavy-handed with us and takes most of our tithes, more than other cities I have heard. And we are
I've heard
forced
of
to
this.
stay here.
You're forced?
Well, not forced, but if we wish to stay in the blessing, then some of us spend years in these rooms, as nice as they are.
It's
I'll
so
say.
unfortunate to see someone struggle so much.
She just kind of nods absently. Yes, I suppose.
You're a deserving woman, especially someone who would take such an odd request from a couple like us.
You have paid your money. I am here to do what you will.
Nathal take another sip. He says, "Actually, I have heard all manner of things about this place, Ishtar's Blessing. I heard that one of the best, her name is Wesleya? Is that how you say her name? Wesleya?
Ah, yes, the madam of this place.
Well, I bet you she makes a good bit of coin, doesn't she?
She does not lower herself to do the things that we do. And she kind of looks taken aback that she had said that. I mean that she is too busy to offer the blessing as we do.
You say that she would not lower herself, but this is supposed to be a prestigious endeavor, I thought.
It is. I misspoke.
But perhaps you did not. It is okay to be honest.
Why don't you roll me a persuade? Yeah, she says, yes, I suppose it... They say it is prestigious, but sometimes I feel they think otherwise. Else why would they not take the blessings, at least from time to time when they have a chance? I know that she is busy with her own personal desires, and we have none of those. We must be pure for the rituals our blessings to our parishioners, but not her, and not Sabine.
Sabine? Who is that?
She's the head of our order. Wise and beautiful. And cruel.
Does she stay here with you?
Oh, no. She does not come to the blessing.
She does none of this?
Say it again.
She does none of this?
Oh no, she does none of this. She is busy with the political maneuverings of the priesthood. She visits the Khan and other places, but no, never here. But Wesleya, she goes to her at nights.
Do you think perhaps it is perhaps they are planning, or perhaps they are working together to take your well-earned coin?
They do not
Yes.
need to. She looks at Nathal and kind of, she's almost ignoring him at this point, kind of looking at Naiba. And she says, well, they do not need to plot to do so. They do it. They go to fall on each other in rapture. That is why they meet.
They have that much power.
They have absolute power.
Does not seem right.
Yes, I would agree. But she kind of shrugs. What can I do?
That is a good question. What would you do if you could?
I would change the face of the priestesses of Ishtar here in Shushan. We would all have rights. We would all share responsibilities for the blessing and everything else.
It sounds reasonable. But how can that be achieved?
And she kind of... I suppose Ishtar would call Sabine and Wesleya away. I do not know. I think with them here that nothing will change. I will sit here and I will perform the blessing until eventually I am given a spot amongst the other priestesses. I do not know how long that will be. I've been here for 3 years already. And I am a favorite, and so I am visited often. She kind of like sighs and leans back.
Would a traveler like myself be able to petition Sabine?
I do not think that would do any good. But if you wished, I would talk to Wesleya or see where she goes at night. I do not know.
Would Wesleya speak with someone like us if she does not do this business?
Perhaps, but I think not for any reason that I could imagine that you would speak to her about anything that you say. I think she would not be receptive, but if you wish to speak to her or Sabine, then, well, I think Sabine is the person to speak to, but she kind of shrugs. The only thing I can think of to find Sabine is to follow the woman at night when she goes to meet her.
Does she usually go at a certain time at night?
I do not. Yes, it should be soon, I think. What time is it? And she kind of, like, walks over to the window, behind her, getting up, and walks over to the window and looks outside. Yes, soon I would think.
Perhaps I can go and talk to Sabine on your behalf, or maybe not with your name, but on the behalf of the others like you.
Perhaps. It may end up having me punished, but it could not be worse than I have already
What
seen
sort of
for myself.
punishment?
Take all the girls' blessings for a week or a day or something.
Perhaps I will think of something else. But you have been most kind for entertaining our strange requests.
And she kind of rubs her head. She says, of course, so are you ready for the blessing, or? Kind of looks at Nathal and looks back at Ida.
I'll kind of pull myself off of the... I am ready for the blessing.
She looks at Niben. But perhaps not him. I do not wish to have someone vomit in my bed.
What exactly is the blessing? I am not familiar with your rituals.
Oh, the blessing. And she's looking very confused that you don't know it. She kind of just steps up and back and pulls her dress off her shoulders and lets it fall to the ground.
Naiba kind of goes wide-eyed and looks a bit away, and is kind of a little flush. Is this necessary? I'm not much of a physical person.
Of course it's not necessary. It is simply the blessing. If you wish not to have the blessing, that is quite up to you, but you've already paid. And she looks down, wondering if she should cover up.
Is it insulting to decline?
No, my dear. I could use a break. It is going on 3 a.m, is it not? The moon is high, and I am tired.
Then
But
you should get your sleep.
Yeah, she nods and she bends down and scoops up her dress and throws it back over her shoulders and says, yes, simply tell Hendora that the blessing was given if you would. I do not wish any uncomfortable questions as to why it was not.
I will do so. Thank you.
I'll be fake snoring underneath my hood, with my head down.
Naiba will go over and kind of hit him with the back of her hand to kind of fake wake him up.
Yes, that was wonderful. That was amazing.
Best.
Did I do good? And then I'll kind of use her to help me get up off the ground.
She helps him up and kind of nods to Ariana as she escorts Nathal out. Thank you.
She says, thank you, my dear. You may return any time for the blessing or for, simply to talk.
Thank you for your blessing, my lady.
She does not even look at you as you leave. So you head out and back down the stairs. The woman there just watches you idly. You come back down the stairs and you see that Sinotef and Einon are still at the table.
You guys sure were up there a long ass time.
Yeah, I'll say. I'll whisper to her. Good job. You know.
Did you enjoy yourself?
Naiba runs her fingers through the tuft of hair on her head, kind of like relieving the stress of that situation. She doesn't. She just walks over to the table and grabs her mug of ale and kind of downs it a little.
So, what did we learn?
There's a, and then she's going to kind of as Wesley walking out now.
Yeah, you see a woman with very, very kind of platinum blonde hair walk by towards the door, the exit.
I'll take another sip of the ale and kind of whisper to them, like nod her way, you know. We might want to follow that one.
And Nan
I'm
kind
not
of looks
sure.
at Wesley and nods to the other three.
We should probably follow.
Shall we? After you.
Yeah.
Later.
Everyone's
Okay.
gonna notice. Everyone's gonna notice we're.
Yeah.
Well, you guys got your blessing. It's time to go.
Yeah, and
Okay.
Dora's over here kind of in conversation with this person, so she's not paying attention.
So to have a look at these three commoners at the bar.
Yeah, they're
Are they
just in their
generally-
cups. They're just getting hammered. They're
All right.
not paying attention.
Naiva's gonna set her mug down and then walk out the door with a
You all-
big exhale of a sigh.
So you head out the door, and you see this priestess in her white robes kind of walking out into the streets in the middle of the night, and walking down an alleyway, beginning to make her exit from the area. Are you following her, I'm assuming? So those that are following her, go ahead and roll me some stealth.
Yeah, we're all following behind. Kind of try to stick to the shadows if we can.
Mm-hmm.
I'll move up towards Anon. Did I notice his kind of jealous tone as we were moving up that way? I guess going into upstairs.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll kind of pat him on the shoulder as we're going. Be like, that wasn't as much fun as you would think.
I find that hard to believe.
And then, yeah, we got to do a stealth check.
Yep.
Okay.
So that'd be for Naiba and Nathal. I still need one from you too.
I did my roll already.
Oh, you
see
did?
it? Yeah.
I did not. Oh, I see. You got 0. Gotcha. Okay, so you guys got 0.
Wow.
I mean, I can do it again.
Yeah, right.
So as you're walking, Anon and Sinotef are the quieter of the four of you, but she doesn't seem to see you. She takes you across town to, I will show you. And although a large part of you aren't particularly stealthy, she doesn't appear to see you. She takes you from the blessing, which would be 19, which is, I believe, in the middle of the town, right there. And she takes you to the sanctuary, which the sanctuary is... Where the hell are you? 22. So, pretty much south through the city. If I was going to do a freehand, so basically that away. And you follow through the alleyways, and she has a torch with her lighting the way, and you were going without a torch. Eventually you reach this place, the outskirts of it. Bear with me. You're further away than this displays, but you see this essentially this temple in the distance, and it is lit by torches in the front of it, and there are very clearly guards outside, and you see Wesleya begin to approach the door, the front of it. So you're further away than this depicts, as I say, but you know what you guys are going to do.
Right. Is there we see 2 guards at the gate there?
Give me an observation roll. You see at least 2.
Okay.
It's dark.
Oops. Sorry, let me grab my guy there.
You're good.
And there we are.
Oh yeah, that's good enough. That's a momentum too. So you see that there are 4 guards standing outside. There's they're just spread across the front there.
So Naiba is going to relay the information that she gleaned from earlier to the others.
Yeah, as you walk, you give them that information.
I'll also, as we're kind of coming up to the place and still sticking to the shadows, I'll say, I spot 4 guards. Perhaps we should try to sneak in.
What does the building look like? How many stories? What kind of windows?
This one looks like, as far as you can tell, that it is 1 story. And you see no windows from here, but it is hard to tell because it's so dark. The only light you see currently, because you do not have your torches out, obviously, as you're trying to stalk this woman, is there are 2 torches on each side of the main door in the front there. You see that there's other buildings that, there are other buildings in the distance, but this building sits alone. And unlike the blessing, which was clearly refit as a tavern at one point to now some sort of whorehouse tavern, this is built of stone. And you see, from what you can tell in the pillars in the front, intricate carvings of ancient sigils and images of Ishtar. So this building is very different.
Who has the, out of character here, who has the best
Stealth? Probably Anan, I would guess. Stealth? Best stealth?
It is... Well, my agility's 8 and my stealth is 1.
Maybe
in
not.
Expertise, so...
It's 9.
Much
what was your
better at
total?
awareness.
10? 10.
That's with no expertise in stealth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Naiba has 0.
But your agility might be pretty decent, though.
Want to say it again?
I was just like, your agility is 10. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So probably 10 is the best between Cenotype and Naiba.
Yeah, I've got an agility of 7 and no stealth. She's walking up towards the door, like in between the 2 guards right now?
Yeah, she just walks up the stairs and heads straight towards the door. Like she's just gonna walk in.
And would we know, is this a kind of place where you could go and offer prayers or tithes here?
You have no idea what this place is.
Okay. Well, I say we try to sneak up here and find out some more information about this place. Maybe scout it out, see if there's any other entrances.
That could be smart. Yeah, let's do a lap first.
Yeah, you're easily able to circle this place. From what you can tell, there are no other entrances.
I know other ones.
There's no windows. There's no doors. It's just stone.
Front door it is then.
I guess so. I don't think.
What kind of roof? Is it pitched or is it flat?
It is flat. And by the time you guys walked around, she went inside.
I don't think trying to sneak past those guards in plain light would yield many success. Yield much success.
We might have to get into position to take them out.
Or we could try to bluff our way in, although we don't know what this is.
Yeah, true.
Would
Perhaps.
someone like to volunteer to go up to them then?
Anon, Sinotep.
Kill them, go in, torture her, find out where Sabine is.
Well, all right then.
That's one way of doing it.
We don't know how many people are inside though.
As rash as it is, I love this plan. But maybe we should find out what this is.
Alright, send one person forward. Who should be the face?
Well, it's a temple, is it not? Is that what we learned of some kind?
I believe she said it was. No one really said anything about what this place was.
Okay.
Ariane just said follower, and that's probably where Sabine was. But you do not know what this place is. It looks like it could be a temple. It looks like a hell of a lot more like a temple than the place you were just at, for certain.
Right. What are the guards carrying? What kind of weapons?
They have scimitars, and you can tell one hand is like on a smaller spear, essentially a javelin.
Okay. And you said shield, did you say?
The scimitar.
Oh, okay. It broke up a little bit.
Yeah.
Scimitar and a spear. Yeah, one of us should go up there maybe.
Figure out
Test out walking up to the door. See what these guards say.
It's primarily a
awry.
woman's cult. It's a priestess cult, so the woman would probably be the best candidate.
Right, neighbor.
Very well, pussies.
That's exactly what you need.
And I was going to walk up. She's going to kind of walk into view, looking lost, obviously, like not local, and then kind of admiring the place, but also with a seemingly tired-looking gaze.
Oh, they advance on you immediately. One of them steps in front and, "What are you doing here?" And
She holds up her hands.
she has her hand on the hilt of her scimitar, seeing your great sword on your back. "What are you doing here?" And still, like, very insistent.
Naiva stops, holding her hands up, obviously not, going for her sword. Apologies, I'm quite lost. What is this place?
This is Ishtar's sanctuary. It is a private place for the priestesses of Ishtar, and you are unwelcome here. If you are a traveler, then very well, but leave.
Completely understood. I apologize for disrespecting your place.
They just stare at you.
She's going to incline her head and kind of walk away. And not necessarily go right back to where she came from, kind of, do a little walk around until she gets back to her group.
Cool.
Yep. Yeah, they're just
And then she's
staring
going
at you,
to-
making sure you're going away.
They're out of sight, right? Like
Yeah,
all out of sight.
you get out of sight pretty quickly. It's completely dark out.
Okay, and she's gonna relay that information and then basically be like, I don't know if you saw, but they just converged. Like, we would need to resort to violence, I think.
I don't see many of... If we try to talk our way in to perhaps have a meeting with the priestess, offer our services, I believe they would take our weapons.
They would not let us in. It's only for priestesses.
I don't see any other choices. Maybe we should try to sneak up and take the guards out.
I think that is our only choice.
Senotep, that was your plan before, wasn't it? Or is that...
That was Inan that said just kill them.
Ah, okay. Anon, you like this plan?
We should do it quietly.
Perhaps the three of us
Arrows are
besides,
fairly quiet, but the alarm will be raised as soon as they start going down.
Yeah, the three of us besides Naima, we can sneak up, and then she can pretend as though she circled around back here, distract them again, and then we strike. Maybe?
Out of character, does anyone have long-range weapons?
Inan is a ranged fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Naiva only has melee.
Okay, yeah. So we try to sneak up, and Anon will have to initiate with an arrow to the face. Hopefully, we can get up in there, get at least close to him, sneaking in the shadows.
Can we see that these four guards are still like how they are in the...
I mean, they begin kind of spreading out just a bit again after Naiba leaves. You have a general idea of where they are.
Alright.
What do we know if...
Up close, and on with his bow from far away.
This is gonna fail so good.
I know, right? Like,
Let's do it.
we could always wait until the morning.
When we're all dead tired.
It's either dead tired or dead.
Well, if I'm dead, I won't know I'm tired.
Combat.
Wait. When did she say Wesleya travels to Ishtar's blessing? Was it every day?
She did not say. She just said she went there at about that time. She went here at that time to see Sabine. She did not say anything else.
Maybe Wesley is collecting the coins that they're bringing them back to her.
It may not be that Sabine leaves this place, but we do not know. We could scout until the morning, maybe see if another face that we do not recognize, maybe perhaps it would be Sabine, see if she leaves.
Are we in danger of suffering any tired modifications or anything like that?
No, probably not.
We're still pretty good.
Yeah, you're good.
What do you guys think? You want to go in there?
Leader, make the call.
Let's do it. I say we go take the guards out.
Want me to walk up? Did you hear me?
No,
We'll sneak up. Let's sneak up. Let's try to sneak up and have him attack long range.
So three of us besides Anon.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and place yourselves where you would like to be, where you're sneaking.
Okay. I guess I'll take the far left.
Oh, let's be far right then.
Oh, I guess she's just gonna go.
All right,
On
so
prob-
those
yeah.
that are so Nathal and Sinotef are sneaking, right? Go ahead and roll me a stealth.
I think if we can, we might want to use a point
Momentum.
here.
Do you have any more?
Oh, don't we have like fortune points? Isn't that a thing?
You do have fortune points, which if you use a fortune point, I'll let you guys use one fortune point in this session. If you use a fortune point in the session, you get an automatic success. That's kind of the way they work. Now you have 2 momentum that you can use that will also increase your rolls, right? You can roll 3 dice instead of 2, or 4 dice instead of 2 if you use 2 momentum. But that's up to you guys.
Man, I'd really like for this to work.
If you use a fortune point, then you automatically get 1 success, and then you can roll, and you can use each one of you can use 1 fortune point in this session. You technically have 2, but that's for a campaign. So
Yeah. Oh, you guys want to do that? Do you want to just get that success?
This is a very risky thing, so.
Yeah, I'm down for the fortune point.
Okay.
Because
and I mean this is the last scene, right? So
yeah,
Oh, is it?
I have a feeling.
right. Let's do it. Because I mean, it's go big or go home here.
Okay, well, bear in mind we still have to get it to Sabine and, do the deed.
Right.
But there's probably.
I'm not going to use my
I
fortune.
feel like there's
point
less
'cause
guards
I can just
inside than there are
use the
outside
bow.
if there's only 1 entrance.
Yeah, that is a possibility. We just don't know.
you can
And
also just use momentum, right? You can use momentum and roll 3. Like when you start rolling a lot, you'll start generating a lot more momentum. So
Okay.
so it's easy to generate momentum. Spending a fortune point it's gone once you do it.
Alright. I think I'll sneak and use 1 momentum for that.
Okay, so you would roll 3 dice.
All right, let's do that then. Yeah. Spend 1 momentum a piece, I guess.
Yep, that's fine. So you both roll 3
is
dice.
there a momentum for medias?
I
I thought there was
For
only 2.
there's only 2. So somebody somebody needs to roll without 1.
You know what? I'll go ahead and spend my
fortune point.
my fortune point,
Okay.
and you both use your momentum.
Okay.
So Nathal, you're still going to roll with 2 dice
Okay.
because you can generate more successes.
Awesome.
Okay, so we're doing stealth.
Ooh, I'm glad I used my fortune point.
Ooh.
Okay.
Nice.
It is 3 dice.
3 dice. That's correct.
Wow,
Okay,
get it,
another
get it,
momentum.
Okay. You all succeed, and you generated 1 momentum. Sinotef generated 1
Nice.
momentum. So you start hanging. You're getting closer, and they don't see you in the darkness.
Are we close enough to
Attack.
kind of engage as soon as Inan makes?
Yep. Let me bring this out here.
Yeah, if we can kind of like explode into act.
We got zones, boys.
So this is the way Conan works in sectors. So you can move at close range for free and attack anybody in your sector or intersecting with your sector. That makes sense.
Okay.
The one that's on the border there.
I'm going to shoot the one in the middle so they all turn to her. Hopefully, giving you guys a attack at their backsides. Phrasing.
Yeah, can
Okay.
I ready when I see the arrow land, I want to attack this one.
Yep. Why don't you go ahead and give me a roll, Anon? Let me.
If I can.
Yeah, let's start with Anon. So.
I don't know what if when I highlight over damage. What? plus effect.
Yeah, effect is so it really so piercing 1. So that goes into effect then. So you just need to hit the effect to get your special things on your weapons to go off. So basically, if they have armor, it pierces them by 1. So you shot the one in the middle. She's completely unaware. And so 6 damage. Hit her in the head. No armor on the head. That kills her outright.
Ah, sweet.
Ooh.
So
Nice.
Non starts things off.
That's a good way to do it.
Draws up his bow, pulls the string back, aims right between the eyes, and is quite satisfied that that's exactly where the arrow ended up. Her head jerks back as she falls to the ground, dead.
And then the rest of you guys are up.
Yeah, Senatef will rush forward and stab.
Okay. Go make your attack with your...
I have a thing in my macros called a Shemshir. I don't know what that is.
Yep, it's kind of similar to a scimitar, but not quite as curved. It's a sword.
Probably better than a dagger in that case, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And 2 dice?
Yep, unless you're using a momentum.
No.
So you just generated... So this is kind of cool. So now you went under your focus. So this means that you... so you already got 2 successes, plus you got an additional success. So you basically got 3 successes versus 1 difficulty. So you generate 2 momentum.
Got it.
So now we'll look at your damage. Your damage is 6. You have 2 dice that didn't hit anything. So you can reroll up to 2 damage dice. So you're going to want to do that.
Okay.
So you should see extra damage dice.
And then 2.
Mm-hmm. So that's 2 extra damage. So that's 8 damage. You hit her in the torso. That's she's going to have... What is her... Soak. 2. So that is. I'm just. Well, I don't want to get hugely deep into this combat and do everything because I don't want it to take forever. But more or less that. So what happens is you hit for a total of 8 damage. I subtracted 2 for 6 damage, and that's enough to kill her. So how does that look?
As soon as I see the arrow land, Senatef rushes forward and just from behind her stabs it up into the back of her skull, like right at the seam between the head and the spine.
Okay.
And
Okay.
pushes her off the sword and is ready
Yep.
for the next.
Nathal or Naiba, whoever wants to go next.
How? Because of the grid, the way it is, the others that are left is going to be.
I'll let you start on either side you want.
Okay.
So if you start on this side, you can attack them.
Okay. Okay. So on that side, then she'll go. That one.
Okay.
Boom, 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 boom.
And she's gonna pull out her claymore. Do I just
Just click the claymore.
Oh, is there music going? I think I turned it down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I gotta put it back up.
All right, so that is a very good good roll. You have no mercy as well, so you can re-roll 2 dice. You have 2 blanks there, so. Yep. Is that an effect? Yep. So that's 3 effects. So that's going to do... Okay, so how this works is you have 7 damage. Then an additional damage. So that's 8. You have Vicious 1. So for every effect you roll, you get an additional damage. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you hit this person for 13 damage. She has no armor in the head, so just completely eviscerated her. How's that look?
Nice.
So Naiba pulls out her claymore and rushes forward and with one clean swipe just decapitates her.
Yeah, the head just falls from the body, and they just fall to the ground on either side. So Nathal, you're up.
How am I going to follow up with that? All right.
Yeah.
Come out of
Nathal's
the dark.
definitely the worst at combat.
I'm going to come out of the dark there with the cutlass raised, and that's my primary weapon, yeah? Cutlass.
Yeah, mm-hmm. You're
And,
more of the talker.
yeah, I'll try to, as best as I can, sneak attack.
Now
on her.
you have some momentum in the pool too. Don't forget that.
Okay. I have 2.
Hit status, and I'll tell you how much is in there. There's 3 momentum in the pool. You can use up to 3. You can roll 5. Usually, you can roll 5 up to 5 dice if you wanted to use all 5 dice.
Oh, nice. I will use 3, I guess.
Okay, go for it. So roll 5 dice.
Cutlass, and then I just put 5 in.
Yep.
Alright, here we go.
So yeah, so now you just generated 2 back because you had one that was a 3, which is below your focus. So that's an additional success. So that's 3 successes with 6 damage. You don't have any special effects, I don't believe, for combat. So you just do 6 damage. It does have Vicious 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 10 damage minus 2. Cuts her arm off and kills her. How's that look?
Nice. Nithal comes out of the shadow. A secret, like a soft prayer to Bell. For my aim to be true, brings the blade down, aiming for her neck, but totally hits her arm instead, bringing her arm off of her shoulder.
And as you do, she screams a loud scream, leaving you outside and the door closed. What do? You still guys are up because there's no defenders out there currently.
Get inside. I'll cover you.
Yeah, to the door.
Yeah, Naiba's going to rush towards the door, with her claymore, at the ready, so that should anybody come towards her, that blade's going to be there for them.
Okay, you can move as you want. Nobody seems to be coming out the door just yet. When you check the door, it is securely locked.
Secured. Okay, so Naiba is going to go over to the screaming priestess guard and basically thrust her blade into her throat.
Einon's going to search for a key or something to open the door.
Yeah, Simon Tap will check the guy or the girl he gutted.
Yeah, as you're going checking for keys and whatnot, you find no such things. I'm going to spend Doom on my turn. Or Doom. I'm spending Doom to call in reinforcements. Something I can do. And 4 guardswomen begin rushing from down the street to the left from behind Nathal. It is your guys' turn.
And keys were found?
No keys were found.
Yeah.
As they're coming, Nan's going to draw an arrow and fire at the lead woman.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. You can. So you are actually, so that's what's enough success to hit with 3 damage with a piercing. So you might want to re-roll some damage dice there.
Yeah.
You can Roll 2 of them. So 1. So it's 4 damage with a piercing. So that is not enough to kill. So that would be... So you hit the first one, but do not kill her. Just clips her arm.
What's volley for an effect?
Volley lets you spend it for extra dice. It's you basically there's no reason not to use it. It basically wastes your arrows. So if you go through all your volleys, then you can't shoot anymore. But you should have 2 loads, I think, or 3 loads. You have 3 loads normally, and you can spend a volley, and then you for each load you spend, you get an extra die.
Gotcha.
Naiba is going to go over to the head that she decapitated and kind of throw it out towards the other guards as an intimidation tactic.
Perfect. Roll me. It's not in your macros, but I'll get it there. 2 seconds. I'm very glad someone did something like this. Where is it? Where the hell? Oh, it's there. Steely Glare. That's what you want. I think. Unless it's Oh, complication. So you rolled a complication, that means you rolled a 20. That means I get a doom. Yeah, you throw the head out towards them, but they don't seem to be affected by that in any way.
Overthrows it into a garbage can.
Yeah, they might not have seen it because it's so dark. Perhaps. Nathal or Sinotef?
Yeah, they're over here, right?
Yeah, you can move up to medium range and attack, and 1 square over is a medium range. So
hold on, put myself inside a pillar. Why is this not working? There we go. Wow, Roll20 was being bad. All right, yeah, move over here and attack.
Yeah, you can charge over there.
I charge over and swing at the lead one, the one that got arrowed.
Okay. All right, that's a good one. So wow, so you just generated 4 successes total.
Oh my god!
Nice.
That was nice.
So now your momentum's up to 5. Just move yourself over there. 8 damage. You can re-roll. You might want to re-roll 1 of your damage dice. Actually, it's not going to matter. Well, yeah, it's going to matter. So go ahead and re-roll 1 of your damage dice. Mm-hmm. All right. So that's good. So that's 9 damage. So technically, these are minions. So the way minions work is once you go through all, and they're grouped. So once you kill a minion. And you go over their vigor score, it goes to the next one. So you did 9 damage with 2 soak, that's 7 damage. So you killed this one, and then you did 4 damage to the next one.
Yeah, I slash into the first one's arm right above where it got hit with an arrow, and just know that that's true, and then just lunge forward and stab the other one.
Okay. Nathal, you were up. Yeah, you're going to be over here.
Nice, I'll spin around. I have a shield.
Mm-hmm.
I have a shield in the cutlass in hand, and charge the other one.
Okay.
Do I have any momentum?
There is plenty of momentum in the pool now. There is. Let's see status, because he just generated a 10, so there's 5.
I'll go ahead and use 2 this time, and
Okay.
attack.
Okay.
I was completely blind over there.
Yeah, it was really dark over there. So you just generated 2 momentum. So you got that back. So you did 2 damage, which that's all going to be soaked. Actually, okay. So now I want to explain something. So you can use momentum that you just earned or what you had in the pool to bump up your damage. So it's just 1 damage per point of momentum. So right now it would be completely soaked. And
With
just
the effects, is the vicious, does that add 1 more? To
oh yeah, you have it would actually, it would give you 2, so you'd have 4. So that would do 2 damage to this guard, which would kill her.
Oh, awesome.
So yeah, thanks for reminding me on the vicious. But you still can pump up your damage if you wanted to, and it would go on to the next minion in this
So
case.
I could spend 1 more of the
Well, you would need to at least spend 3 because of the soak. But you don't have to. I'm just giving you that
okay, yeah.
option later is you can pump up your damage with momentum. So
Okay.
just keep that in
That's
mind. That's the most common thing.
Cool. I'll let somebody else let the next go.
I
Which might
believe you
be the
guys
bad
are.
guys, right?
Yep, they're up. So they move and both attack Sinotef
Alright.
with their scimitars. So, Sinotef's thing is you can parry as your
what's that?
shield for free. You don't have to give me a doom.
Okay. Do I have to roll or is it just a parry?
Yep, just roll your parry.
I click shield, right?
Parry. There's
there
a
it
parry
is.
skill. Yep. So that's enough to parry. So they both come at you swinging, and you're able to block it with your shield.
Yeah, I can duck and let one glance over the top. I can parry again, but that'd give you a doom, right?
There's no reason to parry. They attack as one.
Oh, it's one. Oh, okay, gotcha.
They attack as one.
That was-
So as you guys are kind of engaged, the doors burst open, and 2 guards come through. Let me move that.
Doors unlocked.
And they attack Anon. Oh, they generate some doom. Generate 2 doom. You do not have a shield, correct, Anon?
No, I'm using a bow.
Yeah. So I would let you try to parry with a difficulty of 2 to begin with, if you want.
So
Failure
what
would be bad. Like you would be using your bow to keep them at bay.
So, like, what happens? What's the damage to me? The 1 plus effect.
So I generated 3 damage. They have no effect. That doesn't matter. But what I can do with that momentum is pump up damage. So I generated 2. I would at least hit you for 4 damage. Your left arm is how much armor? Let's see. You should have something that says soak as well, I believe. If you don't, then it's just...
My arm is 2 for soak.
So you would take 2 damage, which is not that bad.
So, yeah, I was going to say, I'll take 2 damage and wait to see what the second person does.
They attack together. They're minions in their group, so
Oh.
they attack together.
Okay, shit, I'll take 2.
Okay. And that is my turn. So basically, the way the rounds go, so just so you know, initiative really goes you guys, then me, you guys, then me, you guys, then me.
Okay,
That's
so
how.
there's no order.
Yeah. Nope.
Wait,
It's just PCs and GM. PCs GM.
So Nan can basically now be like, basically take a step back, draw an arrow, and be like, Naiba, help, and then like try and
Yep.
blast one.
Absolutely.
Well, that's exactly what's going to happen.
I can handle these, Naiba. Go help Idon.
Step back. That is gonna miss though. If you're stepping back, because you're going between squares, so it's a difficulty of 2.
Oh, so I can just
Within-
stand there at like point blank range and shoot.
You could point blank range
I'll
shoot
point
him.
blank range.
That's fine. Yep, that's fine. 8 damage. Do you want to re-roll? No, you don't have anything.
I'm
roll,
gonna say
probably.
no with 8 damage. That seems
8
like a
damage
lot.
with piercing.
So
In the left arm.
Effects.
Yeah, effects for piercing just makes it go into effect once. Okay, so 8. That's definitely going to kill the one in front of you. How much bleeds over? So 2, 6. Piercing 7. Minus 2, so 5 bleeds over. So you basically shoot through one of them, and the arrow goes through the first one and then into the second one, badly injuring both of them.
Basically, kind of. I'm surprised to the two coming out of the door and draws back, fires, and at that close range, the arrow goes through her arm, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then she falls back into the second one. The momentum and then promptly goes into her
Chest
knee.
is fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in terms of Naiba getting over there, like, what exactly does the movement do
So
against her?
Yep. So technically, a minor action is to move in between 2 squares. If you need to go more than that, it is you can't attack. But you technically can go diagonal, so you can technically get there. It's not a problem. You can just
Okay, so she can get there and still make
Attack.
action. Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Then that is what she's going to do, because apparently everybody hasn't noticed her, so she's gonna run up and try to slash this guard.
Give me that claymore roll. Oh my goodness. So that generates a momentum.
Do I need to do something with that?
You could, but the person is dead.
Oh.
So it's unnecessary, but you could have. So how does that look?
She basically runs up, sword at the ready, and then just like slashes through the guard's right arm, lopping it off, bleeding out.
Sinotep and Nathal.
I'll
Go ahead.
slice at both of them and then use a momentum on that.
Okay. All right, so you generate
2 off of that?
2 momentum.
All right, and it's
You can only go up to 6, just so you know. For momentum,
so
you
it's
can't
one-
go any
one
higher than that.
momentum per damage. I would.
Yep.
That's how you do that. All right, I'll
Yep.
use.
Well, first you're going to want to use No Mercy, so you're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
re-roll 2 dice.
2 dice. Oh, perfect.
So that's good. So that's a total of 5 damage, and whatever if you want to pump up. So they have 2 damage or 2 soak on their right arm. You hit them for 5 damage. So you're at 3 right now. So
All right, I will use. Hold on.
and you can use one of these that would have went over. So you technically have 7 momentum, but you can't keep 7 momentum.
Okay, I'll use 3 momentum then.
Okay, so that would hit them for a total of 6 plus. So 6 minus.
8. No, 8 total.
Oh, you
damage.
re-rolled. So you re-rolled 2, 5, 8 minus 2. That does kill one of them.
All right.
Okay. And you use 3 momentum, so it's now at 4 momentum. Should be. Okay, Nathal.
And that seems to be the last one, huh?
There's one left next to him.
Alright. I'll go over here and help Sinotep.
Okay.
And here we go. I'm gonna throw 2 momentum in if I can.
Sure.
It's my attack.
Generated 2 momentum, 6 damage, vicious 1. So you nothing actually hits. So you can use momentum to pump damage if you would like. You generated 2. You're at a total of 4 right now.
Okay. Can I throw in 2 more?
Yes, you could. That would bring your damage to 8. That would kill her.
Awesome. I'll do that.
Okay. You have all went. It is my turn. One moment. So from the bottom of the stairs, you can barely see inside, but you see that coming out of this door to the left are more guardsmen, and also another person with them behind them.
Oh, shout. We have to get inside.
Go, go, go.
Yeah. All right. Aniba's gonna rush in.
Okay.
Einan follows her to provide cover with his bow.
As I'm running, can I grab and yeah.
Grab what?
Can I grab one of their spears from the dead body as I'm running?
Sure.
And like if we get it, once we get inside, what kind of lock is there on the door?
It's basically a. It's not actually a lock. It's a heavy beam that sits across on this side of the door.
Oh, okay. So we can just throw down the beam then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could. That would be your action. It would take a action. I gave you a javelin. So yeah. So make sure you're moving to exactly where you want to go, because once you do, your turn is over. Or if you want to move and shoot. All right, we're still in combat.
Is it actually as dark in here as it looks?
It's as dark as it looks.
Okay.
Okay, so I was able to grab the javelin and close the...
Yep, you can do that. That's fine.
Okay.
But you're stuck where you are.
Right there, yeah.
So Anon, I would say you can shoot from there on your turn.
All right, I can go now then, or
You can go now.
successes? How much?
Yep. You difficulty of 2 from here.
I was gonna say, can I use a momentum? How much do we
Yes,
have?
You have. If you click on your status, it should tell you
Oh, yeah,
have
that's
2
right.
2 momentum currently.
So I can go my Shemite bow and do 3 dice.
You could.
Let's try that. Pew!
You're attacking one of the guards. Wow.
Yes.
So that's 4. So you generated 2 momentum.
And I can re-roll the dice. 2
Yep.
dice.
Yep. So you're at 4 damage right now. You can use momentum to pump your damage if you would like.
How much would you pump it up?
It's 1 per 1.
Yeah, it's not worth it yet.
Okay. So you hit 1 and it hits her in the arm. You can barely see her, but you know you caught her. All right. So I think everybody moved at least 2 squares, correct?
Yeah. Wait. Does this count as the same square as the outside one?
Yeah, it does. This one.
Just like it sort of.
I think.
Then
one.
Yep. If you were in that square, then you've moved 1 and you can still move another, but you won't be able to attack. Because that would be
one. And
So if we run into something, we can attack.
So you're technically in the same square that you started, correct?
Yes.
So the answer is yes. If you run into something, you could attack, and you can move diagonal, so that's fine.
Okay.
I ran 2 squares, I think, so I think I'm done when I close.
Yeah,
the
and
door.
you did actions, right? You picked
Yeah.
something up.
Yeah, I moved 1 square, and I'm not gonna do anything else. I don't think. Wait. No, my only option remove. I can't like steely glare.
Say that again.
Could I steely glare? Is that a thing? Like I don't know.
Steely glare is close range, and you'd be
Okay.
in the same.
Yeah, then I'm done.
Okay.
Naiba sees something over here, but I don't know if that's because it's very dark. But there, it looks like.
Yep, it's a dude. He's standing over there like cowering. He's an old man, dressed in white.
An old man. Ooh.
Hey, what's he know?
He doesn't appear to have any weapons or anything on him.
Naiba is going to kind of try to pick him up by his collar and shove him out the door, or shove him towards the door, get out of here, kind of thing.
The door that's
Yep.
It's closed and locked, isn't it?
Yeah, he just kind of runs towards Xynon and is like, ah! Ah! And he speaks some language you don't understand, but he's definitely not looking like he is any sort of danger. All right, my turn. First thing, my minions are going to move and attack Cenoteph, so they run around the corner and come at Cenoteph, swinging. And now you will know what happens when 4 minions are grouped and attacks you, because they roll 4 dice. Here we go. Oh man! Oh no! That's literally a set. Right now, I'm at 7 successes.
Oh god.
Yeah.
So
Parry
you're
doesn't
gonna want to
mean
try to
there's
parry.
successes? Or
What's that?
how does parry work?
Yeah.
Like if I
So your parry, you need to. So my reach is 2 and your reach is 2, so that's even. I don't want to get in that anyway, but you need 7 successes to block it,
okay.
and then I'll get momentum based on what your successes are.
Definitely use all the dice you need.
Yeah, I'll parry with using all 3 of our momentum for a total of 5
Yep.
dice.
Yep. So that's 4. Okay, so this is complicated. So you got 6 successes plus a complication. So I get a doom for the complication. So, yeah. Would you just, I'm going to look at something for you, because you have some parrying stuff. Deflection, repulse after attack as well. You did not successfully make a parry. Okay, so you did not successfully parry. But I only got 1 momentum from that attack, because you have 6 successes and I had 7 successes.
Okay.
So I have 1 momentum. I'm going to pump up the damage to 4 with that momentum on your left leg. And your soak on that leg is what? A 2, I'm guessing?
What would
It's on your character sheet. That one
Yeah, it's
is. It's 2. So you take 2 damage. Okay. The next move is another warrior woman runs out, looking different. She has a battle axe in her hand, and she just tears off towards Naiba. I'm gonna give us some light just so we can see. And she attacks. Where's my battle axe? Here we go. I'm gonna use Doom to give myself an extra 2 dice. So that's 4 total successes. You can parry with your claymore, but you have to give me a doom to parry, because you don't have a shield or a parrying weapon.
Okay, so
And just keep in mind how much damage she's done too. It's not
a lot, is it?
Yeah, but she has some talents that can help, but yeah, it's not a lot right now. It's just 2. But you could give me a doom to try to parry, but she has 4 successes. I don't know how good your parry is. Probably not that great.
The parry is what? I'm sorry, I didn't catch the last.
Probably not that great, I said.
Yeah, I'm thinking that since she doesn't have a parry weapon, I'm like giving you a doom. Doesn't seem like a good idea.
It's fine. So 4 successes versus 1. That's 3. 3 momentum. I'm gonna pump the damage to 5. Do you have and I have vicious. Well, okay. So actually, this is worse than. So first thing, I have no mercy. That's the reroll. Certain amount of battle die. I have to do 2 of those. Oh man.
Are they allowed to use like what was it, a fate?
Fortune point.
Fortune point for defense purposes?
She could, but it only gives you a success. So I don't know if it would be good enough because she has 4 successes. So 3 damage plus the 2. That's 5 damage. Let me just look. 5 damage, and then vicious 1 effects 2 effects rolled there. So that's 7 damage. And then leave it at intense. So what's your soak on your legs?
How do I check that?
It's in your character sheet, actually. It's the only thing that doesn't have a macro, although I thought it used to. Is it in your status? No. We'll just say it's 2 because it's easiest. So that'd be 5 damage. So here's a new rule, kind of. When you get hit for 5 damage, you take a wound. So unfortunately, this weapon has intense, which means you would take 2 wounds. So a wound basically increases your difficulty by that many. So your difficulty to hit is now a 3.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I know I'm running through this kind of quick because I don't want to take forever, but
Ooh, that's rough.
yeah, that's bad. So she comes with her battle axe, and it just slices you across the side of your knee, tearing your tendons and causing you to almost fall to the ground. And it is your turn now.
It's my turn?
All your turns.
Okay.
Whoever wants to go.
Anon, seeing his crush get crushed, aims his arrow for the backside of the woman attacking and shoots her.
Hey, you have no momentum. Difficulty 1 within close range.
Fudge.
And you miss. And you give me a doom because of complication.
Non worried about hitting Naiba. Misses wide right.
All right. Another thing you can use a fortune point for is to ignore all your wound penalties, by the way.
Ooh.
You could do
Naiba.
Can I use my fortune point on that? What would that do?
You would hit, but you need to declare it beforehand.
No problem.
Yeah. Naiba, did you hear what I said, or did you ask me what I said?
I didn't hear what you
Yeah.
because it broke up.
I said you can use a fortune point to ignore all your wound penalties for 1 round. So you could use your fortune point to attack, and you would not have your wound penalties.
How detrimental are wound penalties?
So usually you're going for a difficulty of 1. That means you need 1 success. In this case, you have a difficulty of 3, so you need 3 successes to hit. Actually, 1, 3. Mm-hmm. And you're rolling 2 dice, which means you'd have to roll under your focus to hit without any momentum.
What does rolling under your focus mean?
gives you an extra success. So if you rolled a 1, that would be 1 success plus another success. So you possibly could do it, but you would have to really roll low.
I'd have to roll really, really good, and it's only it's only good for 1 round. So
it is only good for 1 round.
I guess she's gonna have to use her fortune and to kind of try to combat this person. So in that instance, it's still a regular roll, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Just roll your claymore.
You only have to get 1 success.
That's a hit. So you can re-roll 2 dice.
Say it again?
You can re-roll 2 dice with your extra battle dice. Yep. So that's an effect. So that's 8 vicious. How many effects do you have? 2. So that's 10 damage. You hit her in the right arm. What is her? 2. So that's 8 damage. That's 1 wound. You don't have intense, right? You don't have any momentum. You don't have any momentum to spend. That's unfortunate. But that does give her 1 wound at the very least. So how does that look?
Well, in her rage and in her pain, Naiba's going to take her claymore and slice upward on this warrior's right arm.
Okay. All right. Who's next?
All right, I'll go next. Cenotaph will, very desperate, still just try to slash at the 4 attackers on them.
Okay. That generates 3 momentum.
All right.
So that's a very good roll.
I can
Yep. So you have 6 damage right now. 7 damage. Okay. So would you like to use any of those momentum for damage? Or anything else?
I will. That's gain 3. I'll just use 1 for extra damage.
Okay, so that would pump you to 8, and that's enough to kill one of them.
All right.
Nethal.
Crossing over this boundary.
Say again, which boundary? To your left, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can move and attack. It's a minor action to go but 1 square.
Okay.
So you can do a minor action and a standard action. So.
Okay. Yeah, I see. Cenotaph has kind of outnumbered there, so Nethal moves that way, and I'll just drop that javelin. Use my blade to cut across both of them.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to use that for something else, but I'll actually throw 2 momentum into this attack again.
Okay.
And there we go.
Whiff.
Oh, I am awesome. Very.
You come at them, and one of them kind of turns and is able to turn your blade away. And then back to me, I believe. We'll start with the guards. They are still trying to gang up on Cenotaph. That did not roll the right amount of dice. Oh, yeah, it did. There we go. So, okay, so I got 2 successes. Would you like to parry?
I will.
Okay. So you get 3, so you generate 1 momentum. So you have 2 momentum. You have talents that let you do things.
I will,
Riposte.
Yeah, let me just check the doom real quick. That's the wrong one. There we go. Alright. Yeah, I'll riposte. Give you a doom for that. And I just get to make a melee attack like normal?
Yep. And then you generated 2 momentum.
Alright. And I'll use total momentum. Hold on. Or 2, and then that brought us up to 4, so I'll just use those 2 straight into damage.
Straight into damage. Good call. Dead. Kills 1. On their turn. Miz, with Naiba kind of both bloodying each other badly. She is going to put 1 doom into her attack and attack with her battle axe. Oh, she misses and gives you a momentum because she has a complication.
Nice.
All right, your guys' turn. Actually, one thing. No, go ahead. Yep, keep going.
Alright, Senseth will keep the momentum, so to speak. And yeah, he'll slash, use 1 momentum on that attack.
Okay. Okay, so that's gonna give me a doom,
And that's a
and
3
also
successes.
you have 2. Yep.
So 2
So you also got 2 momentum.
So I'll reroll 1 of those dice. I didn't
Mhm.
check on my repost if I need to reroll any, but too late now.
Uh,
That's 8 damage.
1,
And then I
8 damage. Yep.
will 1. Alright, I'll use 2 momentum straight into damage.
So for 10 damage. So that's going to be 4 on that one. Kill them both. How's that look?
And ducking and weaving in between all the strikes, occasionally on the counterattack, he sees the moment and just slashes across both their throats in 1 swift move.
I'll do him.
Anan or Nathal?
And now that the battle's turning, I'm not going to use a force or a point. And we'll try and shoot once again.
Success, generating 1 momentum.
I will.
You can re-roll 2
yeah,
dice.
I'm going to do that.
Nice. 8 damage before any momentum spends.
I will not spend any momentum.
That is going to so the way this works. So she has 13 total vigor. She had 8 damage, so that puts her at a total of 16 vigor loss, which caps her. That immediately does a wound. Okay, first thing. She also took damage more than greater than 8, or greater than 5. I'm sorry. So that's a wound. So she currently has 3 wounds. So how does that look as you just kind of shoot her from the back?
As her and Naiba exchange sword blows, Einon this time actually Breeze takes his time and shoots one and just hits her dead center right in the back, right in the middle of the back. And it might not have been a spine hit, but it was darn close, and you can just see her jerk her chest forward in pain.
Okay. Naiba, do you want to go?
Is it my turn? Or
I don't think you've went this turn yet. No.
yeah. Okay. How much momentum do we have?
You have 6.
Maximum momentum.
Okay. Well then. Yeah.
You can roll up to 5 dice.
You
can spend 3 on extra dice.
Yeah, I think I have to get over 3, right? Or 3 or more, right?
Yeah, just use
Success.
maximum momentum.
That's correct.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll use 3 of those.
Okay. So you'll be rolling 5 dice. Got her. So that's actually 6 successes. So you generate 3 momentum. So you generated 3 momentum. Oh my god. So you can re-roll 2 dice. So 8. So you hit her for 8 plus 5. So 13 minus 2. So she's already capped. Okay, so this is how this would look. So 11. So that would be 5 wounds, total of technically 6 wounds, but you can only have 5. So that kills her. So how's that? After she's shot in the back by the arrow, how does it look like when you kill her?
And non-shot basically creates the window that Naiba can take with a sweeping motion of her claymore towards the leg. She just kind of just swipes right through, and yeah, bloody mess.
You see no other people that look combatants, but walking through the door where the rest of them came is a woman wearing a white robe, perhaps in her early 40s, looking at you, and she kind of looks out. You've come for me then. Is that what this is?
Can Ethel run over and put my blade to this guy and grab him?
Sure.
All right. Yeah, I'll grab a hold of him and put my blade to his throat and say, we have come for your head.
She looks you over. And why is that?
I'll say, who is this? Who is this?
Worth more than your life.
And she looks at Cenotaph and back to Nathal. Our Chamberlain. No one of import. You would think that it was the male who was the important one, of course.
I'll press my blade a little bit harder. She
doesn't seem to care.
Anon's gonna draw his bow back and aim it at her.
Cenotaph will stride forward, like whipping the blood off his blade into the area next to him. Shall we get this over with?
Enough talk.
Take the shot, Inan.
Will do.
Do it.
He's gonna blast her.
How does it look?
He releases the arrow and it hits her right in dead center in the chest, and she kind of brings her hands up, shocked that there was no real talking, and looks up at Anon and then over to the others and slumps down onto her knees before slumping forward into a pile of viscera and blood from the group that has slowly been slaughtered by us.
Well, that's that then. What about the whatever he is? Gesturing
Kill
to the
him.
old man.
He's a witness.
Unfortunately.
Let's go. We've got to go.
I'll tell him sorry about this.
Yeah, you cut his throat and he just kind of slumps over.
Anon goes over to
side.
Naiba to help her with her leg wound, was it?
Mm-hmm. Cut up her leg pretty good.
Zenitheth will slit Sabine's throat just to make sure. And then goes and helps Naiba.
Get proof on her.
We need to take her head.
Shall we?
I think they'll know she's dead.
Does she
We
have
need
any
it
rings
for
or
our
anything?
payment.
Does she have any rings?
She has rings on every finger.
Any that look like a seal ring or like a something that's...
They all look pretty fancy.
I'll just take all her rings.
Just chop off her hands.
I'm gonna take her head. If there's a bag I can put it in.
Be my
Yeah, you probably would have considered that.
Yeah.
You take Sabine's head with one stroke.
Naiba is going to hobble towards the door and kind of check and see if there's anybody coming or anyone out there.
You hear in the distance commotion. I mean, this was fighting, screaming, all that junk, but you don't see anybody yet.
We need to go now.
Let's go the opposite way of the noise.
Yeah, let's go.
You rush off into the city looking for an exit. Eventually, after slow and painstaking attempts to flee, you find the exit and push out into the desert with the head of this priestess that you have murdered. Following the map that Rafiq had given you, you come to a small grove of mostly dead trees. You see the clear signs of the earth being dug up at the base of one of the trees as the sun begins to crest high above you. As you dig into the soft ground, you find a large bag of gold.
Perfect. Shall we split it?
Maybe we should put the head there.
Bury it where the bag was.
I don't
Yeah.
want to carry it around.
Yeah, yeah. Kind of open the bag up. Sorry. Kind of open the bag up
Fine.
and check cautiously if the
It appears that everything's there.
Naiba is going to turn to Inan and nod to him. Thank you. I don't know if I would have made it had you not made that shot. Thank you for that.
Anything for you.
Was that an eyebrow waggle?
Wink, wink.
As you stand there with your spoils of victory, you hear a sound coming from the distance of marching troops and war horns. And as you all turn, you see this army approaching, and the screen fades to black as you look on at this massive army getting ready to besiege the city of Shushan. And that's it.
Oh, nice.
Oh man.
Have fun, Storm.